This Premier League review and EFL Cup Round 2 picks edition of the Premier League Gambling Podcast on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network is brought to you by Underdog. Underdog's got a brand new offer for new customers. Play just $5 and get $50 in bonus funds when you sign up with the code PLGP. Welcome, everybody, to the Premier League Gambling Podcast on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network. My name is Malcolm Bamford, coming to you from Newcastle upon Tyne in the northeast of England. Today is Sunday, August the 24th. We are here to have a little squiz about the Premier League weekend, which is 9/10 of the way completed, before we take a look at some of the EFL Cup action. Round 2 takes place Tuesday and Wednesday this week. Joining me after a sterling effort doing the solo special from somewhere in Nottinghamshire is Mr. Barry Penaluna. Barry, what's happening?
Yeah, back in Nottinghamshire for the first time in about 7 days. Been on the road.
Oh, yeah, you Baz, so you on mute. Yes, Barry, I'm back. And I know what I've done. Do you know what I did, Barry?
You're an idiot.
I muted the laptop.
Yeah, well done.
So when I tried to, mate, I had one show off. Let's be fair, right? This is episode 300, by the way, everyone. So welcome along to episode 300. And that just goes to show that if I miss one show, or even a part of one show, then my clock resets to 0. So my experience on this show is now back to 0 shows, Barry. So this might be episode 300, but everything I've learned over the previous 299 is reset the clock because I meant to mute my microphone while the titles were on, and I muted my entire laptop. So there you go. So that you can have that one on me.
Yeah, the podcast listeners will be fine. I'll edit it all out.
Oh, we'll edit all that out. They won't hear this.
Happened.
Should we call them twats, Barry, now? And they won't ever know. That's childish. You better edit that bit out. Right, there you go. Right, you see now, Lee's winded me up, and I'm not even sure. The fuck is? I'm going to cover up the comments with a sock. Lee's trying to wind me up. Anyway, Barry, how the hell are you? Well done on your solo special. I listened to the first 20-something minutes. I was in bed. I was full of cocktails. And it was like the fucking Chronicles of Narnia, Baz. You were still talking. You'd never got near football by the time I passed out to sleep. But I presume I did listen to the rest the next day on my sunbed, Baz, and I thought you did an excellent job, son. So well done.
Thank you. I'll be honest, Malcolm. I was very disappointed. I think you let the show down massively because on this show we've prided ourselves on making a pick on every single Premier League game for the last 4 years now, and you bottled it. You didn't deliver. I mean, your technology wasn't working, but you could have put a pick out for every game. You could have put a 1-minute video, or you could have even just sent me your picks on a piece of paper, sent a photo of it. But to not make a pick on every game, you've blown it, haven't you? Like that's the streak gone. We can't.
Well, yeah, I'm not asked about that. Bear in mind, Barry, I carried us for the entire fucking summer while you sat there and did precisely nothing. For the entirety of a massive international tournament.
Look at the name at the top of the screen, Malcolm. It's the Premier League Gambling Podcast. That's the name at the top of the screen. Not making a pick on the Premier League game. Shambolic. Honestly.
On Monday night, whilst on your holidays, Barry, I started my notes.
Don't start with this. He's going to tell you he picked all the winners. This is where he tells you he picked all the winners. He just didn't tell anyone.
I picked 4 out of 5 winners.
What a load of hate.
Barry, I've got 2 words for you. Turkish electricity. So on the Saturday, like the Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, my laptop was working because it was still running on the battery. So I was making me notes. I was checking the MLB scores, etc. I then went to charge it up when the battery eventually died on like the Tuesday night. And the Turkish electricity wasn't strong enough to get into the machine. Like the lads need to pedal a bit faster or something because it wasn't strong. It wouldn't charge it up. So
not use your phone.
Yeah, charge my phone up. Yeah. But wouldn't
Well,
charge my laptop up.
You could have joined by your phone.
I know, mate. You know me. I'm very much a one screen. I couldn't get on multiple screens. I couldn't get on any betting sites for any odds. I asked the AI for odds, or Data Dave. His fucking odds were a shambles. He had like Chelsea up at 5-2 to beat West Ham on Friday night. I thought, fucking hell, that's the price of the century. Data Dave was making it up completely. Once the laptop had gone down, Baz, there was no conceivable way I could make any kind of picks. So there you go. You've done all right, though, didn't you? Picked some winners?
Well, I started all right. Saturday was good. I think I picked 4 out of the 6 games, Friday and Saturday. I had Burnley, both teams scored no in the Burnley game. That was good. What else did we have? Bournemouth to win. The Friday night game, Chelsea was easy enough. And Arsenal win, and the overs, I think, was the pick in that one. But then today was a bit naff. That's it. I still picked the winner in. I can't even think what games we're on today already. I'm absolutely miles away. Man United, what did we go? Man United, I really liked the Man United shots, and then they disappointed massively there. Forest Unders was the one I hit. So I think I'm 5 winners out of 9. If I can pick a winner up tomorrow, I'll be in profit for the weekend. But the exotics weren't great either. So a fairly average week. Started well, but tailed off a little bit today.
Yeah, well, my 4 out of 5 bars is a fairly solid effort. I'll screenshot them later on. And,
means nothing.
But I haven't got much. I think the plan tonight is we'll just have a look around the games, maybe do the eye catches and stuff. Over the first 2 weekends, obviously, with me missing the other night, we have got some EFL Cup action as well. We are going to do 4 shows this week. Don't worry why. There is a very good reason why. But we and Barry will be doing 4 shows this week. So prepare yourself for an absolute overload. I would advise you to listen to maximum 2 of them. But yeah, we're going to do the pick show. We're going to do a Champions League draw special on Friday, Thursday or Friday possibly as well as the Premier League review show next Sunday. So loads of stuff going up there. Let me remind you of our fancy new and favourite sponsor here, which is Daily Spins, your destination for crypto sports betting. dailyspins.com/sports. That's dailyspins.com/sports. The group chat here is full of Baz shaggers getting on my nerves. Courtney and the Backus family who first in. Welcome along. Who else is here? Joe Dollar is here. Callum's here, but he's in the pub. So we can't hear us, which is probably a good thing, frankly. Smudger's joined us. Brad, is that a Reading badge? Bloody hell, Brad. Welcome along, Brad. But yeah, Reading badge. Logan is here as well. And I think that's everyone so far. If you are in the chat, if you do join us, say hello. Pete's Picks has joined us. Pete had a flyer today with the horse racing picks. Pete's Picks 01 on X. Pete set up a Telegram page, and I joined the Telegram, which is good. I've enjoyed Pete's Telegram. But what I didn't know, Barry, if you ever joined Telegram for anything, Baz, you have, haven't you?
I have, yeah.
Why is it full of Asian women in my area, Barry, that want to have sex with me?
I don't know. It's not mine. Mine isn't.
Is it not? I'm holding Pete indirectly responsible for the deluge of Asian women in my area, because I have never seen them round here, Baz, until I joined Telegram. I've never seen them round Aldi or, on my way to the bus stop. All these horny Asian women, they must operate at different hours to me. But on Telegram, Barry, it's absolutely, it's full of them. Thornsky is the latest to say hello. So hello, Thornsky. Brief holiday review, Barry. I really didn't do anything at all. I've got no particularly funny stories. I had lots of lovely fun. The kids were all right. I didn't do much at all. But I've got one celebrity holiday maker, Barry. Not saying a holiday with the stars, you know me. I'm quite demure. But there was a celebrity holiday maker in our hotel, Barry. I'm going to give you one guess. And I realise it's a long shot because it could be anyone in the entire world. But one guess, who was the celebrity holiday maker in my hotel?
Joe McElderry.
Joe McElderry is a fucking very good guess. I wouldn't have guessed that you would have guessed Joe McKeldry. No, Barry, it was the bloke with the terrible Teesside accent from Celebrity SAS Who Dares Wins. Do you watch that?
No.
No. All right. Well,
No.
people do watch that. One of the SAS men, there's like 5 SAS. Remember that tit Ant Middleton? Who used to be the SAS man, and now he's gone fully fucking mental.
Yeah.
He was one. And there's a one there with the, it turns out he's a Mackham, actually. He's a Sunderland supporter. And I don't know his name. Little fella, blonde curly hair. Anyway, I knew him for about 2 days. I thought he was a football coach. Because in my head, I could picture him shouting and screaming. And I thought he'd been shouting and screaming at me. And then Betty spotted him and went, that's the fucking SAS man. So it turns out I did know him from shouting and screaming, but shouting and screaming at me via the telly, not in person, for once. So there you go, celebrity holiday maker. I covered up all the Liverpool shirts in the Turkish bazaar, Barry, on one night. That was fun. While the bloke wasn't looking, I just took all the shirts from all the other shelves and covered up all the Liverpool shirts. So that was a little victory. And just a little question or advice for the people of Turkey. Do you have to put nuts on or in everything you cook? Like, I've got a nut allergy, quite a bad one. And I tell you what, Barry, every single thing, especially on the all-inclusive thing. Like, there was a lovely big patisserie there. I'm not exaggerating. 100% of the things had the nuts on or the nuts in. It was all pistachio based. Everything. I had a chicken kebab one night. That knocked me sick because it was all nutty. I think the nuts were in the chili sauce, Baz. I mean, who's putting nuts in the chili? There's no need. Like, no one's missing the nuts. If you ever had chili sauce and said, can't taste the nuts in that. And then, what was the other thing? Oh, fucking hell. There was a massive cheese board platter on the buffet thing. And you know me, I'm a very cheesy man. And there's someone that finished this cheese board, a beautiful cheese board, and then just emptied like a sack of walnuts over the top of it. They weren't even like, they had no purpose being there. They were just loose, piled on top. What you got there?
Some nuts.
More nuts.
You've just got me thinking of nuts now. So I'm going to have a little handful of almonds while we go.
Yeah, well,
all right with almonds.
What do you think, you idiot? You're all right with almonds. You sound like everyone else I was sitting on holiday with. As my head swelled up on Wednesday. Oh, you all right with that? Can you eat walnuts? Can you eat fucking idiots? So yeah, Turks, leave it out, man. 1 day without the nuts. And I think that's it. Did Dave make a pick, Barry, on your show?
No, I forgot about that. There was too much to remember. You know, with having to do all the stuff that you were supposed to do, there was too much for me to remember.
Right, okay.
So I did forget Dave.
Keeping up to date with the tracking, so Data Dave remains 0 for 1. Minus 1 unit Data Dave. The slow roller is still rolling. The slow roller progressed from £22.23 to £24.05. So we're flying on the slow roller. Most to come. And anyone, this is show number 300 now, as I've mentioned a couple of times. If any of you listeners, or indeed you, Barry, weren't on Palace Forest as the 1-1 draw of the week, then you're the problem. I can't do everything else for you. It was almost like a challenge. That was the most obvious 1-1 draw there's ever been in the history of ever. And I hope, I don't know, can you remember talking about the game the other night? Was there many people shouting it up, Baz? Because it was 1,000,000% the 1-1 draw of the week. You finish your almonds. Don't worry about me.
I'm just fucking gobsmacked at you coming on here, giving out your predictions fucking 24 hours after the games again. You told us you had 4 out of 5 winners. You're now giving out your 1-1 draw of the week 48 hours later. Fuck off. I'm not having it. Ridiculous. I tell you what. Absolutely ridiculous. Nice these almonds, though.
Yeah, good. But there's nothing people like more on a podcast, Barry, than one of those eating stuff. That's quite famous for it. That's what a lot of people said it's the one thing missing in this show. Is someone chomping on stuff while we're talking shite, but talking shite with a bit of noise in the background.
You started it by talking about nuts, and I just happen to have a bag of almonds next to me. So natural source of protein and magnesium in it. So getting me vitamins in there.
I've got the Predict Addict League table up in front of me. Oh, on that subject, Barry, you slagged off KJ Hall back the other night, didn't you? Well, you didn't slag. Yeah, you did slag him off. I think what happened to him, Barry, was he didn't put any picks in. I think he might have joined late.
Yeah, right.
So because I'll tell you why.
I would have expected it then to say. See, now it says he's got. It's because
I think he's got 5 and 4 this weekend.
Yeah.
And 0 and 10. What gives it away for me is Tigers joined. Tigers down in 13th on 3 and 16. And I think I saw Tiger join late. Now, Tiger is a bit of a doiler, but he's not that stupid. So he would have done better than that. So I think you might owe KJ Hall back an apology, Barry. Would you like to issue that now?
I'll take that back, yeah. The table itself did say incorrect outcomes 10, which made the suggestion that he had made 10 incorrect outcomes. But I think you're probably right.
Clues are there. At the top of the league, though, Barry, let's have a look. There's Walker's still up there. Our Watford correspondent leading the league, tied with Michael Hawthorne. Callum Schultz sitting tied for second with Cormac Gillespie. Bob Bamford in third. Danny Midler, the Mackin, in fourth. Chelsea. Harry is tied with Smudger and Kevin Anderson and me and Joe Dollar. So all the cool kids are tied fourth. My inexorable ascent to the top of this table has continued a little bit this week. The Backus family is sitting in tied fifth as well, with Lenny. Barry's down in sixth. Betty Bamford in seventh. Simmers down there. Brian. So keep remembering to put your picks in. There is still one game tomorrow, actually. Game I am going to. I'm looking forward to it tomorrow. The battle of good versus evil that will take place at St James's Park tomorrow night. I'm quite looking forward to it. I tell you what, Betty is absolutely off her lips with excitement. You know, she only chooses these games for the needle. We've said when she does the draft, she likes the needle games. Well, obviously, this one, in her mind, the needle is off. I'm not that arse. There's no extra needle for me, particularly. I couldn't eat the fuckers anymore anyway. But she's bought into the hype of the Bears Den, and Joe Linton's going to go around and smash everyone's face in. And she is absolutely hyped up to the high heavens. So she's looking forward to that. Bank holiday Monday as well. So means we can get out nice and early and have 5 or 6 live and as before the game. Do you want to run through some of the... I'll tell you, the first thing I noticed actually, Baz, we'll run through the opening couple of weekends, really. It's been an interesting start, I would have said. It's not been mad exciting. There hasn't been a shit ton of topsy-turvy games, end-to-end, not high scoring. The first thing I did notice, Baz, is the over-unders in the BTTS. Now, we've said this for you. It's an overs league, became a little bit of a staple slogan on this show. And it's not at the minute. 7 of 19 overs, Barry, over 2.5. And only 6 of 19, both teams to score. So we're on 13 of 19, as well as 12 of 19, under 2.5 goals. So
well, funny, most of my winners this weekend, I had Arsenal win to 0, Burnley, both teams to score no, and then unders in the Forest game. So 3 of my 5 winners so far were all sort of fading the goals as it is.
There's a right fucking funny noise. I don't know if it's my next door neighbour, but someone might be being murdered in the background. Andy's joined us from Barbados, of all places. Do you know what they say about that Bayesian electricity, Baz? Stronger than the Turkish electricity. It was a Premier weekend that ended with Manchester United throwing Harry Maguire up top again. In the what phase of the aberrant era we're in now, where we're still just throwing Harry Maguire up top, having spent a cajillion quid on centre forwards. They again prove today that they can beat anybody in the league, Barry. So the fact that they can, that implies that they're choosing not to, which is an incredibly bold strategy. Like, I've never seen anything quite revolutionary. As you can beat a team, but you're just choosing not to. So good luck to Ruben carrying on that.
Yeah, I go just jump in with that one because I brought it up the other day after last week. Just the overreaction to Man United's plucky performance against Arsenal in the first weekend was ridiculous. And I'd said, against Arsenal, Man City, Liverpool, those were the games where Man U kept turning up last year and getting a plucky draw or, picking up something. And sure enough, They come up against the average team of the day, and they've struggled. Probably fortunate to come away with a point. And the other bits that sort of came to fruition was last weekend. After 1 week, everyone had 5 teams relegated. Everton were relegated, Burnley were relegated, Brentford were never going to win another game again. And all 3 of them came out and won this week, having been written off last week. So yeah, Gyökeres was the other one I mentioned, where everyone was slagging him off, saying he was shite against Man United, and then sure enough, he comes and scores 2 goals. So yeah, let's get a couple of weeks in the book before we start making any bold statements after one game. Like, it was all a little bit ridiculous. But the Man United game, thoughts on the penalty?
No thoughts.
No. I mean, the thing for me, it was a soft one. You'll see it given this week. You'll not see it next week. And it was the problem with it for me was Luke Shaw was doing the exact same thing.
Yes.
There were 2 simultaneous, identical fouls happening simultaneously, and he punishes the one that leads to a penalty rather than the other one. And I don't know, that didn't wash well. And then if you're going to give it, then you've got to give the foul for the goal.
Yeah, that's
clear as day. It's 2 hands like that, and he extends them out and pushes him. It was blatant. He takes a step towards him and he shoves him, and he gets a clear header as a result of the push. So how they didn't look at that was beyond me. I was glad Fulham came back and got an equaliser, because it would have been an injustice had they won by that. I did laugh
at the referee's announcement. Does that clear it up anymore? Without the referee's announcement, we all would have known that the Fulham number 3 pushed over the Manchester United player, because that's what they were fucking looking at. Yeah, that was fairly clear. So he comes on and sticks. They've all got the same accent, the referees. There's only one referee in accent, the other. After review, Fulham number 3 pushed over Man United player, penalty. Cheers, mate. We fucking know that. What light is he shedding on the situation by announcing that?
Pointless.
It's absolutely fucking. We're all saying, oh well, that's all right then, lads. I mean, fucking hell, absolutely ridiculous.
I did enjoy. The TV made more of a deal of it than they needed to, really. Bruno Fernandes being nudged by the referee as he was about to take his run up, and Bruno Fernandes wasn't happy about it at all.
Because in the interview, though,
because the referee didn't apologise to him.
Yeah,
like what's that all about? So yeah, you might have your routine, but he nudges you accidentally. Just start your routine again. That's fine, and keep the ball down. Stop doing that little pitter-patter thing, and you might not hit it over the bar.
I've worked out what's going on next door. I think Kev is looking after the dog. I think he's looking after his son's dog, and I'm not sure the dog's used to it. So the dog is whining and yelping. Like, so you might be, I don't know if you'd be able to pick it up, but it's absolutely like it's a joke. It sounds horrendous, but Kev's looking after the dog, so I think we're safe from murders anyway. Yeah, I just don't really understand any of that. I'm just choosing not to. The only time I get bothered about it is when it goes against Newcastle. Otherwise, like you're pissing in the wind. Like it's absolutely ridiculous. It doesn't make any sense at all, any of it. We'll have a little run down some of the other teams that have caught our eye or otherwise. Let me tell you about where we go. And I'm going to have to scroll back to the top here. This is confusing. MyBookie.ag. Your place to bet on every sport, including MLB, WNBA, golf, and of course, football futures. Tons of locations. Crypto accepted too. Head to mybookie.ag, promo code SGPN or PLGP for a 50% deposit match up to $1,000. T's and C's apply. mybookie.ag, promo code PLGP. And Rhythm is our other favourite sponsor here. NFL is back on Rhythm. 76 and 66 ATS last year on college footy, 22 and 19 on the over-unders. Player props were red hot as well. MLB, WNBA, golf and college football on Rhythm. Go to the site today. Start building your NFL models for week 1. Get your 7-day free trial at sportsgamblingpodcast.com/RITHMM. So I catch a wise. Arsenal and Tottenham are the 2 teams sitting with 2 wins. And I think Tottenham are the team worthy of more mention. Arsenal had a fairly soft start. The Man United win was okay. And then a soft one against Leeds. Leeds had no quality at all yesterday. But Tottenham haven't played well against PSG and raised an eyebrow or two. Tottenham, they've won 2 games and almost as remarkably kept 2 clean sheets, but good ones. Yeah, fair enough, Burnley. But then to go to Manchester City, they always win at Manchester City. Just one of those odd things that happen in football. I still can't get away from the feeling they could turn up next week and look like they've never played football before in their lives. I think for me, the important thing is the centre-backs, Van de Ven and Romero, because they are very, very good. They complement each other. Romero's fucking nails. Van de Ven's quick and can defend. And they're important. They've got some good players, but if without that base, you haven't got anything like... and that sets the table for them at the back. Bit of line movement here, actually. I thought it was worth a look at. 25-1 to win the Premier League now. I won't be queuing up to take that. 11-4 to make it into the top 4. I mean, these prices are drastically reduced. Tottenham are by far the biggest movers here. 11-4 plus 275 to make the top 4. And even money for the top 6, Baz. Which, if the top 5 are nailed and you're looking at that 6th spot, Newcastle with questions to answer. Villa, all of a sudden, 0 from 2. Tottenham have got a 6-point lead on Villa already. Tottenham for the top 6 might be a shout at evens. Baz, any of that catch you right?
Nah, again, too early to be making massive jumps in opinion on teams like that. But they have been impressive. I've liked what I've seen. And to be honest, not massively surprised that they might become a little bit more solid with a change from Postecoglou to Thomas Frank. I think Thomas Frank's a really, really good manager. So I did expect a bit of an uptick from them. But they've done probably better than expected. Struggled, as I said last week, in the transfer market. Seemed to be struggling to get anyone over the line, which has annoyed a few of the fans. But they're soon quieting down once they got 3 points, don't they? So, yeah, good from them. I mean, I'll mention Villa. You just brought them up there. They've been an eye catcher for me in 2 weeks for being really, really underwhelming. I thought they were very underwhelming against Newcastle. Barely created a chance. And then I thought, having seen how poor Brentford were week 1, I thought Villa were a good pick this week. And again, really poor. So no goal from Villa in 2 weeks. And there just seems to be the rumblings. Emery's not happy. Obviously, they've had to lose a couple of players for PSR reasons. And Villa fans are now seeing what it's like. That more and more people are cottoning on to the fact that these financial rules don't help anybody but those teams who are locked in at the top end of it. So yeah, it could be a struggle for Villa if they can't do much more in the transfer market. I can just see it being a bit of an ongoing sort of slump for them, possibly.
Yeah, maybe just kind of the down part of the cycle. Like it's not a cycle that has just happened in the last 4 or 5 weeks. The players that they've been losing and the amount of money they've had available to spend has sort of gradually eroded away at them, and they've done very, very well. The same as Newcastle and Forest.
It's strange because they talked about on the news today, because obviously they are struggling with the financial fair play, but their actual net spend, I think they've made a profit under Emery. They've actually made £10 million because they've sold that many players. The likes of Duran's gone. Obviously Grealish went early on. Can't remember if that was under Emery or not. But they've brought a lot of money in and spent lots. So I don't know how they're struggling so much. They must have players on some massive contracts. It must be wages or something that's putting them in such a bad position. But yeah, and as I say, I have every sympathy for them because I think it's an absolute shambles that you can have wealthy owners that can't put money in to spend and try and get you to compete, as we've seen at our own club.
Manchester City catching a few strays in the comments. I am slightly concerned about my pre-season pick of Man City to win the league. It just looks like the same old problem, doesn't it? Football, you need the churn, the constant improvement. And Man City do look like they've just hit, because it's the same problems with Man City. The same problems that they can't defend. They finished the season okay, but then went and just did the same old shit in the Club World Cup and have started the season the same old shit. The solid win against Wolves, but Wolves have been poor. And then again yesterday, not sure about the quality of some of what they've brought in. Man City out to 9-2 now to win the league. I think they were 130 at the start of the season.
I'll tell you
Andrew
what,
Jane has joined us.
James Trafford's had a nightmare as well, hasn't he?
Yes, he did. That made me laugh.
He was, close to signing for Newcastle, where he would have almost certainly been pushing for number one spot. Goes to Man City, has a nightmare yesterday, and then today City have agreed terms with Donnarumma. So James Trafford is now going to be sitting on the bench. It's not going to. I don't think that's going to have turned out to be a good move for him.
Yeah, we might get him on loan, possibly. 5th at best, according to Andrew, who's joined us. Welcome. Andrew, there's a load of teams have won one and lost one. Bournemouth, Brentford, Everton, Sunderland, Burnley, Leeds. And my main take from all of that was that there's a little bit of hope here that we might see a proper relegation battle, whether it's 4 teams or hopefully 5, hopefully 6, but even 4, because the last 2 years we haven't had a proper relegation battle. Now, I watched Leeds, Burnley and Sunderland. I watched them all over the weekend. And frankly, all 3 of them were dog shit. That Burnley-Sunderland game was the most Brexit game of football I've seen in fucking years. It was dog shit. No, low quality. Like Bob watching, he was like, what is this? What are we watching here? And then Leeds just didn't have the quality to live with Arsenal at all. However, all 3 teams have won a game. All right, Burnley beat Sunderland, so what does that count? But they've both won home games. Sunderland and Leeds have won home games against bottom half teams, which is what you're going to have your season defined by. Sunderland rolled over West Ham, and Leeds beat Everton, who were okay today. So the form lines aren't absolutely horrible. So there's that's all. There's a little bit of hope there that West Ham kind of come out of this as the eye catcher, because they look in a right old mess. And this does stem from the disconnect that we've seen between the board and the fans ever since the moved stadium, really. And then not renewing Moyes, people wanting Moyes out. Careful what you wish for situation. Football wasn't attractive enough. Well, I mean, what got me the other night was you go 1-0 up at home in a London derby, and you think, right, fucking come on, we've got the lead now. Let's defend like badgers. They're going at half time, 3-1 down. It's soft as shite, like absolutely soft as shite. So real problems for West Ham, and Wolves are the other 2. I looked at West Ham. I couldn't find odds on. Oh, sorry, I did find odds on Graham Potter being sacked. 100-30 plus 333. Yeah, because Nuno.
I've got that down here because I was going to mention the Nuno. Yeah, Santo, he's the favourite now to be gone because he's fallen out with a big Greek, hasn't he?
Well, yeah. So Nuno's the even money favourite. Thing is, the big Greek could change his mind tomorrow and then change it back again on Tuesday. So you just don't know. I don't know what the situation is.
From speaking to Forest fans, I don't even think it's all to do with that. I think it's they brought in Edu, didn't they, as the football director?
Oh, okay.
And by all accounts, he's done all of the football. Oh shit! Nearly dropped a bottle of vodka there. Nearly knocked a bottle of vodka off the table. Anyway, back to the show. Apparently he's had all of the say in transfers, and Nuno's been a little bit out of the loop on everything they've done in terms of the transfer business. So it might be one of them situations where you've got a football director and a manager who just don't see eye to eye, and one of them's got to go. And the fact Edu has got quite a big sort of reputation, hasn't he, across world football in his role. They reckon he might be the man who stays, and Nuno might be gone.
Fair enough. I mean, if it was purely on football and what's happening, then Graham Potter is the obvious standout at, like I say, 100-30. But Nunes in the evens. Relegation. What price of West Ham to go down? I've fucking written that down now. I can't find it. I did write it down. West Ham to go down. Let's have a quick look, because I've got to be relegated. Leeds are a massive price now to go down, by the way. Leeds are 9-4 plus 225. Confused by that. Wolves and West Ham are both shorter than Leeds now. Wolves 6-4, West Ham 7-4. There's value in there. I don't know which way to take it, but that would be my plays. Baz. Any more in terms of eye catches, or do you want to make some picks?
No, I think we've covered it all, really.
We took 37 minutes. I suppose the first 4 minutes was me talking into a vacuum, wasn't it? Not being able to hear you because I pressed the wrong button. Okay, we'll move on. Let me tell you about Circa Million and Circa Survivor at the world's greatest sportsbook, Circa Las Vegas. $21 million in guaranteed prizes coming out with SGPN at the Circus contest weekend, which was the weekend that just finished. So I don't know why I read that out. But you could get 15% off a stay at the Circa with the promo code SGP15. The contests are open to everyone. Sign up in Nevada and play from anywhere with the help of SGPN's official proxy. Go to footballcontest.com. Use promo code SGP to get $50 off your proxy fees. And Underdog Best Ball Mania is happening all summer long, giving away $15 million in prizes, including $2 million to first place. No waiver wire, no arguments about trades. Best Ball is the best way to play fantasy. Underdog has got a brand new offer for customers. Play just $5, get $50 in bonus funds when you sign up with the code PLGP. Well, that's all going very well, Barry. Anyway, it's time, Barry, for the game that has got the majority of the Western Hemisphere on absolute fucking tenterhooks. Kick off, Barry. Where we left it after an absolute deluge of attacks from Barry Penaluna, propelled by, amongst others, Tubby McNair and Robin Bravo. Ball's out for a corner, Barry. Do you remember? What's going on? Another shot on target. Is this your fourth shot on target, Barry, so far?
No. There was no mention of a corner, Malcolm. I had a shot on target and we left it there.
Oh, right. Well, what's happened?
You're telling me you've made another save whilst we weren't even here?
Well, no. What I'm telling you is I'm playing this card here.
Right.
So there's the corner card. So what you've got to do now, Barry, is see. I reckon there's about 30 cards in the discard pile here. I can cut them, or do you want to give me a number to count down?
Just cut them.
You can choose your own. Fucking hell, Barry. Come on. Corner taken. So what you're looking for here, I'll cut into the camera, Barry. You're looking for a little blue flag in the corner, and this will be your goal, okay? Otherwise, it's another goal kick. Right, here we go. Corner comes in. That's a fucking red flag. Eat shit, you knobhead. Right, that's over the bar. That is a goal kick for me. Fourth shot on target, Barry Penaluna. Have you got Cunha and Mbumo? Do you like Mbumo's new nickname, by the way? Kinder Mbuemo, because he's quite fat. There you go. Goal kick for me, and more to follow next week. I'm sure we can all agree that was very exciting. EFL Cup round 2, Barry. How many picks have you made?
3.
I've got 4. While you were talking, Barry, I asked Data Dave if he had a pick to see if we could get him back on track. Data Dave fancies Sunderland -1 against Crewe. Bear in mind, Sunderland are playing Huddersfield. I'm not sure Data Dave is a fucking reliable source of information. What sort of crack's that?
You need to be more specific. If you don't tell him the dates of the games and stuff like that, he doesn't know. You've got to be more specific in what you're asking.
Right, what I asked him was, does Data Dave fancy anything in the cup this week? And he replies, he does indeed, Laura, because he thinks he's talking to Laura. And he's not messing about this week, he claims. He is messing about. Sunderland -1 against Crewe when they're playing Huddersfield. Both teams to score in Birmingham v Cardiff. And Stevenage to beat Watford.
I think if you'd went back to him and said, I'm looking at the EFL Cup games on the 26th and 27th of August 2025, he would come up with a different answer.
Data Dave's taking the piss.
There you go.
That's what he's doing. Right, so I've got 4 picks, so I'll start then, Barry. Games on Tuesday evening. Now, I ended up with a lot of Premier League teams in my picks here. Not intentionally, it was just the games that I fancied, the picks that stood out. And the first one is 7:30 on Tuesday night, 2:30 Eastern Time, which is Wolverhampton Wanderers against West Ham United. Wolves are 27-20, plus 135. The draw 13-5, plus 260. West Ham 9-5, plus 180. Bit of a bum fight here. We've just talked about Wolves and West Ham as having caught the eye for reasons they wouldn't have wanted to catch the eye in the Premier League. I think it's a little bit easier to mitigate Wolves' 2 losses than it is West Ham's. Wolves played Manchester City. Man City can beat teams. We're aware of that. And then they played a decent Bournemouth side away from home. They had a man sent off. They were a goal down early. They had a man sent off after 47 minutes. So things didn't particularly go Wolves' way. West Ham, however, you can't mitigate what they've done at all. Absolutely smashed twice in pretty disastrous fashion at Sunderland, and then at home to Chelsea in the derby the other night. And also, I think it's a bit of a kinder spot for Wolves. Wolves get to stay at home. They're at home all week. They play Everton at home at the weekend. So back-to-back home fixtures here. Where West Ham go to Forest at the weekend. So another away game, having Wolves, whether they go back home or I think it's on the Sunday. So it points to Wolves, Baz. I think John Arias came in for his first game the other night. I like him. Whether we'll get a game. As always, EFL Cup, we always give you the warning just to check the team news because we've got no idea what sort of strength these teams are going to be. So an hour before kickoff, check the team news. Unless something egregious happens, I just think Wolves are capable of winning a football match. The West Ham look like a right fucking mess at the minute. So I would take Wolves, Baz, 27-20 plus 135.
Yeah, I swerved most of the Premier League stuff, to be honest. So we're probably on different games entirely here. Anyway, my first one is Preston v Wrexham, which I think is a Tuesday. I think all of my games are Tuesday, actually, but I'll check that in a minute. Preston are priced 11-10 plus 110. Wrexham 12-5 plus 240. And the draw 5-2 plus 250. And I came to this one, first of all, with Preston in mind. They've had a really good start of the season. They're unbeaten in 3 and have just won back-to-back games against Ipswich and Leicester, two of the relegated sides from the Premier League. So some decent form with Preston. Took the lead early on against Ipswich the other day and then just dug in, parked the bus. I think Ipswich had about 20-odd shots on goal. Preston still managed to hang on and beat them. So good start of the season. Wrexham are struggling a little. They've got just 1 point from the 3 games in the league. Not struggling to score, though. Scored 5 in the 3 league games. Scored 3 against Hull in the previous round of this competition. So 8 goals scored in 4 games. Conceded 10 goals, Wrexham. So goals is all over the place in Wrexham games. So over 2.5 in all 4 of theirs. Both teams to score has hit in all 4 of them. And it's that sort of form that pushes me towards the overs. Plus money as well. And I can see why it's plus money, probably because of the Preston side. Preston have been quite good defensively. But I do like the over 2.5 between Preston and Wrexham. Over 2.5 is 11-10. Preston might win it. But Wrexham are likely to score. So the overs is where I'm going to end up. So yeah, over 2.5 goals, 11-10 between Preston and Wrexham.
Bad result that at the weekend for Wrexham. 2-0 up against Sheffield Wednesday. Have to put that to bed. Really did shit the bed there. My next game is 7:45 on Tuesday. Bournemouth taking on Brentford, another all Premier League clash. Bournemouth 17-20, minus 117, 29-10 the draw. Brentford 11-4 plus 275. And I just wanted to back Bournemouth here. They just, everything about them appeals a ton more. 2 good performances so far. Could easily have gotten a result at Anfield and then held off Wolves at the weekend. Brentford did get an underdog win at the weekend, which I think surprised a lot of people. There was a lot of people on Villa in that one. But it doesn't tell me that much good. It just tells me Villa are in a little bit of a slump. They're 3-0 down away at Forest on that opening day. For me, was a big old red flag. I still think Brentford are up against it, and Bournemouth have got too much for them here. Minus 117, Bournemouth 17-20 was just too big. I think they're clearly the better team here. And unless they do something drastic to the starting 11, I much prefer Bournemouth. But
yeah, again, I missed that one out, but I don't mind Bournemouth at all as a pick there. I would prefer Bournemouth. Very similar to taking Bournemouth at the weekend. I just think they're the better side at home. Should win that one. So I don't mind that at all. Next one for me is Burnley v Derby. So we have got a Premier League team in there. Burnley are 1-2 minus 200. Derby 5-1 plus 500, and the draw 100-30 plus 330. Good weekend for Burnley, getting off the mark with a win and landing me a winner as well, which was part of my reasoning for the pick in this game. Derby are winless so far, conceded 9 goals in their 3 league games so far as well. They have scored in every game, but I'm going to go against them doing that here. The pick for Burnley at the weekend was the both teams to score no. They were well beaten against Spurs the week before, but I just felt taking them against a similar calibre team like Sunderland, they could return to the sort of form we saw last year and that defensive solidity that came good in the end, because obviously they shut Sunderland out. And so here again, against championship opposition and a struggling championship opposition as well, I think they can do the same again. So my first instinct was I think Burnley will probably nick it and potentially win to 0. So Burnley to 0 was 13-8. But in the end, I just thought it was worth taking the both teams to score no again. It's at even money. It just gives that little insurance in case Burnley do bin it off and don't really put much effort into this. So, yeah, both teams to score no. I said the other day, I think Burnley against average opposition, BTTS no might be a good play week in, week out in the Premier League. But again, I think it might fit in this sort of game as well. So my pick here will be both teams to score no. One of these teams to blank between Burnley and Derby. That's at even money.
Fefwef is reminding us that Derby are shite, like you pointed out at the start of the season. Yes, we all agree. Cheers for that, Fefwef. Just for those kick-off completists, I get quite a lot of letters, Barry, on a weekly basis. That header over the bar was from Bobby Muscat. That's Bobby Muscat. Okay, we move on to my fourth pick here. Oh, it's my third pick, actually. It is Sunderland, but they're not playing Crew, as Data Dave, the dickhead, thinks. They're playing Huddersfield Down, Barry, of all people. Sunderland are 11-20, minus 180, 16-5, the draw, plus 320. Huddersfield 9-2, plus 450. I handicapped this for a couple of reasons. I thought Sunderland could make a shit ton of changes in this game here. They've signed a load of new players. They've got a load of players they need to give a run out to. There could be anything. There'll be no crowd there at all. If they get 4,000 there, I'll show my arse, right? There'll be no one there. And Huddersfield's are in really, really good form. 4 wins out of 5 in League One. They've scored 10 goals. They've kept 4 clean sheets. They only conceded in one of the 5 games. They lost 3-2 at Blackpool somehow, because Blackpool have been dog shit. But Huddersfield have been really good. I did want a underdog. There's always 1 or 2 dogs will hit in this round of the cup. I wanted to find an underdog, and I'm not just doing it because it's Sunderland, but I think Huddersfield are live here, Baz. I can't see Sunderland rolling out a strong team at all. Huddersfield will give them a game here at 9-2, plus 450 for the Terriers, Barry.
Yeah, obviously I'm happy to co-sign that one. I don't mind Huddersfield as a potential underdog pick. Next up for me is Millwall v Coventry. Millwall are 7-4 plus 175. Coventry 31-20 plus 155. And the draw 9-4 plus 225. I thought this looks a decent one on paper. Coventry are unbeaten in their 3 league games. Millwall have lost 1, won 2. So 2 teams going okay. Coventry have been absolutely full of goals in the last week, in particular, scoring 12 in their last 2 games against Derby and QPR. They also beat Luton in the last round. So come here with 3 straight wins, Coventry, which meant they appealed to me at 6-4. Millwall are going okay, but I just think Coventry are a bit better, and they've done okay in cup competitions in recent years. So I think they might still have a go at this. So Coventry at 6-4 appealed, but I just thought goals might be the better way to play it. There's been a total of 16 goals across the last 2 Coventry games. Millwall games are also going over 2.5 in 2 of their 3 league games. So there's form for the over 2.5, and it's plus money, 11-10. I think looks a really good price for the over 2.5. So I was sat there. I was between the Coventry pick at 6-4 and the overs at 11-10. And I decided to go for something different and just mix the two. I've went for the Coventry team total because I do fancy Coventry better. I do fancy the goals in it. And the Coventry team total is a similar price to the Coventry win. It's 6-4 for Coventry to score 2 goals here. As I say, they've just scored 12 in the last 2. That's not to say they'll go out in an EFL Cup game against a decent Millwall side and do the same. But that's going to be my pick. I think Coventry for a couple of goals is a good shout. 6-4 for Coventry over 1.5 team total.
I'm pleased Cov put a couple of nice results together because we talked them up a lot on the preview show, on our EFL preview show, and they didn't have the greatest start. I think they were held by Hull. Fucked everyone up, didn't they?
Yeah.
Everyone on day one, proper ackerbuster. But yeah, 7 goals at the weekend against QPR. I've got one more pick here, and Fefwef's not happy with my underdog play on Huddersfield, and I've got another plucky underdog here. I'm going to go to the big Yorkshire derby between Sheffield Wednesday and Leeds United. Sheffield Wednesday are 18-1 here, Baz. Holy shit. Do you remember last year when I picked Barrow at 40-1? That was a great pick. They lost 5-0 to Chelsea, but it was a fucking good pick. Sheffield Wednesday, 18-1. That's not the pick, by the way. I tell you what, there's worse 18-1 shot. 11-2 the draw, plus 550. Leeds United are 1-7, minus 700. Now, I know Sheffield Wednesday are in the shit. I am fully aware of all the situations down there at Elsewhere. But the players are clearly still trying. And that's important. They took the lead at Leicester on the first day of the season. Eventually got touched off 2-1 late. A lot of teams will lose by the odd goal to Leicester. And at the weekend, they came from 2 down in the second half at Wrexham. Now, you'd think a team whose heart might not be in it. That's just not going to happen. Wrexham are no mugs, see what I mean? So to come from 2-0 down it just shows you they're going to be trying. And again, a little bit like Sunderland, Leeds might just make a ton of changes. They've got 3 points on the board in the Premier League. They've got bigger things on their mind than this. I did watch them on Saturday, and I know they're away at Arsenal, and Arsenal can mug teams off. But the fucking lack of quality was standout. I don't know how bad Everton were that first week for Leeds to have beaten them, because there was an absolute... It looked like a championship team, which is what obviously they were last year, what Sheffield Wednesday are. And it's a big derby, and they're never easy at all. I think the Sheffield Wednesday fans will turn up, so there's going to be nobody at Sunderland to harass Huddersfield. The Sheffield Wednesday fans will turn up for this. Sheffield Wednesday +2 is at even money. Yeah, you can get +1 or 2 in America or Canada. So we get a push if Leeds win by 2 goals. And I don't think this is a foregone conclusion in any way, shape or form. If you're brave enough to take Sheffield Wednesday on the outright or the double chance or to lift the trophy or anything like that. But yeah, Sheffield +2, Baz. I don't mind that at all. I don't say Leeds go and beat them by 3 goals. I just don't know why they would. Even money's a perfectly fair price.
Yeah, I don't mind Sheffield. As I say, everyone expected them to be getting hammered week in, week out. They did get beat 3-0 off Stoke. But they have put in some decent performances. They were a little unlucky against Leicester, as you say, and a good comeback against Wrexham the other day. So, yeah, don't mind them as a bit of a dog.
Okie doke. Well, that's me all done, Baz.
Yeah, same here.
You've done as well.
I'm now going to have to go through there. And the family, we've got a bit of a situation.
Oh, God.
The 3 females of the family, it's mainly the kids, actually, have developed an obsession with a particular TV show that I don't really want to watch with the family. Can you guess what it might be?
Don't tell me it's Naked Attraction.
It's Naked Attraction. Literally.
Yes, Barry.
Obsessed with it. The kids watched one the other week. It must have came on late at night. And Ellen went, "Oh, you'll love this, kids. It's Naked Attraction." And sure enough.
Were they not aware of it?
I don't know. But anyway, they watched it and laughed their tits off all the way through it. And then, like, straight away, so it was like, "Can we get that on catch up?" Like, what? Honestly, I had to ask them to turn it off today so I could put the football on at 2:00. It's not 1:00 in the afternoon family viewing, is it? Naked Attraction.
Like, oh, no, that would put you off your fucking ploughman's lunch, Barry.
They were sitting there eating their dinner watching it. I'm like, what is this? We were at Newcastle for the last few days. We were sat in my mum's house. and my mum was made to watch an episode of it. And my mum was like, what am I doing? Sat with me grandkids watching loads of cocks and tits all over the telly. Bear in mind, my youngest
For me, Baz,
daughter's
I've said
12
before, it's not the cocks or the tits. It's just the fannies in the wild. Like, if you say a fan, right, this is, I don't know where we're going with this. If you say a fanny and there's an intent there, if you've got an intent to use the fanny, then I've got no problem with a fanny. Like, in the heat of battle, I'll take on a fanny. I just don't want general fannies. Like, a fanny out of context is just a bit. It's not great for me. Like,
yeah, so it's just a little bit uncomfortable viewing. Sat with my two daughters watching all these naked people on TV. It's a little bit weird. So I guarantee I'll go through there now, and there'll be another episode of
knobs
it on
and
the TV.
fannies.
So I am. If anyone's got any TV show recommendations that I can get them away from naked attraction and start watching something else, then that would be greatly appreciated.
Get SAS on, Baz. Go and see my mate. Unbelievable. Well, I'm pleased you've had to endure that, because I've had to put up with it for several years, Barry. There's nothing wrong with a general vagina. It's one of the greatest sentences anyone's ever typed into a chat box. General vagina. That's a great name for a racehorse or an album. If anyone wants those, you can have them. Barry, just before we started, you said we haven't got anything to talk about. This will be quick. And yet here we are, 59 minutes later, the same old shite. Have you got anything you want to tell the people before? Bear in mind, we've got to do this another 3 times this week, Barry.
I know, we can't do an hour every time. Like, I mean, we're doing one show on the Champions League draw. Surely that's a half an hour job. It can't be. Be an hour. I mean,
maybe you can list your top 5 mobs of the week.
I had nobody else to talk to the other day, and I went over. I done an hour and 3 minutes, I think, in the end. I was expecting to knock that one out in half an hour, and then time gets away from you, doesn't it?
Certainly does. Right, okay. Thanks, everyone, for enduring this. Happy 300th episode to us. Unlucky with that corner, Barry, over the crossbar. Everyone very excited about that. 0-0 remains the score. We'll be back on, what did we say, Wednesday, you reckon, for weekend picks?
It'll be Wednesday weekend. We've got a Friday game this week again. I'm not sure whether it's...
I'll tell you what we should do, though, Barry. We just keep on talking and asking each other these questions while this podcast's still running on.
Yeah,
I'm going to do it, though. Competitions, Premier League. No Friday game, Barry.
Yeah, I think we're going to do Wednesday Premier League picks, Thursday Champions League draw, possibly Friday. I'm at the cricket on Thursday. I'm going to see the Trent Rockets in the old 100.
Okay.
So
I'll be
back at some point.
Yes, I'll start my new venture on Thursday, but I'll tell everyone about that on a Wednesday because that's exciting. If people haven't listened to me enough this week, there's something else you can listen to me doing on Thursday, so that'll be fun. Right, let's go away. Thank you, everybody. We do appreciate it. Back on Wednesday and Friday and Sunday and all sorts of other times. Good luck with your bets. And until then, we'll see you down the road. Cheers.